What's up, everyone? Drake Breshears, running real estate here on YouTube. We are outside of our next flip project. This is a townhome in Rogers, Arkansas. We are on the push to 250 subscribers. Once we get to 250, we are giving away a $25 gift card. Chip, if you want to talk about the restaurant that's going to sponsor that gift card giveaway.
Absolutely, guys. So $25 to your local best restaurant, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. That's where you get not only great service, great food.
Yep.
And there's a Chick-fil-A on every corner.
That's right.
Every corner.
That's right. They say don't invest in real estate unless it's within a few miles of a Chick-fil-A.
Or Starbucks.
Or a Starbucks. So that's why we are partnering with Chick-fil-A or Starbucks. $25 gift card. That drawing is going to be on the day of the 250th subscriber. If we revert back into the 245 range, we're not going to do it. We're going to call it off till we get back up to 250, right?
Exactly.
And speaking of 25, with this flip, we think we're both going to make about $25,000 in profit, which sounds great until the IRS takes nearly half of it with short-term gains tax. But this is a beauty. Let's look at it out here. So this is a townhome attached. There's some things to like about this street. We think that we can get this up to the level where right now it's between a B and C class property. We think with our magic touch, we can easily bump it up to a B. Let's step inside and talk about all the things we're going to do to create a flip on a $40,000 budget and improve the community here in Rogers. Again, 250 subscribers, 25 to Starbucks or Chick-fil-A. Let's go inside. Chip and I never shy away from a good deal, and we have this property under contract for under $100 per square foot, which is quite the feat in 2023. And one of my favorite sayings is persistence knows no defeat. We made a cash offer on this property of $150,000, and that was maybe a month ago. The property went under contract and then went back active, went under contract, went back active, and we've continued to monitor it. And every single week, Chip and I would email the agent and ask if they still wanted to consider our offer, partly for entertainment, to be honest with you, just because we enjoy that type of thing, but partly because we knew we might have a shot at getting this under contract. So finally, on the second time that it dropped, it was due to some light termite damage that we're going to get corrected. So we sent an email. We said we have no concerns with the termites. We've seen a little bit of everything. We pared our offer back to $145, financed with an 85% mortgage, and that's what we're doing. So you're going to see in this video, unique situation. For us, it's not about a particular type of property. It's does the deal make sense? And this is a townhome. So it's rare to see this in our market, but think of a duplex, but there's a parcel split right down the middle to where there's an individual owner of both sides. So it's a townhome that's not in a POA, kind of unique here in NWA, but we have the property under contract for $145,000, 1,556 square feet. And what's really unique, as I was mentioning, the renovation's about halfway done. So this is a layup for us, and it's the perfect situation where it's not easily financed because it's not completed. And the buyer not only has to be able to finance it with a banking relationship, but also has to have cash to invest in the renovation, which does weed out a lot of people, especially this year. So right place, right time. You guys saw the series from the Fayetteville flips. If you haven't seen that, check it out. We'll link that in the description. But now we're parlaying the win on the two Fayetteville properties into this one in Rogers. So we're gonna walk through very basic renovation, nothing crazy here. This one's all about the deal and creating a great living space for an investor to then in turn rent out to one of their clients. And I think it's gonna be perfect. 2-car garage, 1978 or 1980s. Do you know the exact date, Chip?
I don't. I think it's actually 90s.
It's 80s or 90s.
Yeah, I think it's mid-90s.
But this is that era that we always talk about being very easy to renovate. It's just a big box in here. Just needs some good lighting. And yeah, we'll walk through it and talk about what we're going to do. So you guys know, Chip kind of leads the charge on the renovations. I don't know what charge I led on this one besides being along for the ride, but he knows what the game plan is. He's asked me to put my opinion on some things. Got a great setup for a kitchen here. So what are we going to do to make this a $250,000
Sure.
ARV property?
So just some things that we were really excited about when we originally entertained this opportunity back in June. Yep, June. One thing that Drake mentioned, a lot of the demo has already been done. So unique situation, we don't have to take care of that. Majority of the time, we waste about a week of, I wouldn't say waste, but we use about a week of our time demoing, getting everything in place for us to really start putting it back together. The rough end typically starts first, whereas walking into this one, all that's been done. So really there's a couple of areas I will still need to do some demo, primarily here in the kitchen, removing this tile floor, the bathrooms, removing one of the showers and the vanities. But other than that, baseboards have to go, but it's about ready to be put back together. So that's awesome. So here in the kitchen, Mike will do a little pano, but we're contemplating either A, replacing just the cabinet faces and redoing the sink base area to save a little cost there, and then having it primed and repainted, or redoing all the cabinets. It depends on what our budget looks like, so we've yet to determine that. Most likely leaning towards just replacing the sink base cabinet area on the bottom tier, and then replacing all the cabinet faces so we have new faces and will give the look of new cabinets.
Property intangibles, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath setup, and has a lot of the square footage in the living space along with a 2-car garage. So anytime you get almost 1,600 square feet, but you only have 2 beds, you know you're gonna have this awesome place to hang out and entertain folks. Got the bay windows in the eat-in kitchen area or dining room, whatever you would like to call it. Over here we have a nice feature fireplace. Very common in 1980s builds to see a fireplace that looks that good, and we love them because a good coat of paint and a new mantle, and it looks very modern. The windows are nice in this home. You can tell it was really quality construction when it was built, and it's held up well. Because the flooring's up, we checked for cracks in the foundation. Don't see any of those, which is awesome. We're on some fairly high ground in this part of town. It has the screened-in porch that Chip's going to get with some of our subcontractors and make really nice. And yeah, it's a perfect setup for either somebody that works from home and needs a dedicated office, or like a roommate setup, or a family with maybe like an elderly relative that lives in. It's such a good floor plan. And when we're renovating homes, we always look at the floor plan. Is it going to be something that gets positive feedback? This one certainly will. To Chip's point earlier, the floor is about 225, 250. So, but the floor with a 2-bedroom home, you have to be a little bit more careful. So there's some risk with this one, but at the purchase price that we're entering, we're going to be in very good shape. We're pumped to see exactly what we can turn around on this one, but the spirit of it is to create a great living space. I mean, this area is, what would you say, B class?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I'd say right on the cusp of B class.
It's right on the cusp of like that C to B class.
Yeah.
So we're also pumped to breathe new life into the area and show people that these can be made really nice. They can pay for a backyard, a screened-in porch, a 2-car garage for the same rental price as an apartment. And that's what it's all about, trying to balance the market and breathing new life into older areas and making it a true B-class property with A-class finishes that we're gonna install here. So super excited. You just can't lean for only the money on a deal like this. You have to also be invested in the community improvement to stick it out through the grind of a renovation. Chip, talk about LVP 229, decision to run it throughout. The trim is ripe for improvement. I would assume we're doing the 3 to 4 inch trim in here along with the can lighting.
So like Drake said, intangibles are great. We just got to really put the final coat on the property to get it to market.
That's right.
Something that we learned from our last flip is we want to be a little bit more prepared. That's the reason we had all the contractors walk through the property today. Over the next week, we're going to get all those bids back, estimates. We'll have to negotiate with them to get it where we need to be. Our budget's right around $42,000. That's interior and exterior work. Like I mentioned, a lot of the demo has already been completed, which is great. The walls have already been textured. As you see throughout the pano of the property, you'll see all the windows have been taped. They did that in preparation for actually spraying the texture. So a lot of that's been done. In the house, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna do electrical overhaul. So all new outlets, new fans, new lights, bathrooms, etc. So that's one thing we're gonna do. We're also gonna do new plumbing. So a new water heater, new plumbing lines for all the sinks, new sinks. So that is something we're gonna do as well. Flooring throughout, it's gonna be LVP. It's a waterproof LVP. It's $229 a square foot. That is cheaper than carpet. So at this point, that's gonna be what we're gonna rock with all the way throughout, excluding the guest bathroom, which has already been redone. We're gonna do a new front door. We are gonna leave the sliding glass door. It's older, but it still works. It functions. There's no need to replace something that still works. Drake mentioned the back porch. That's gonna be redone. It's a nice place to have coffee. We're not gonna get rid of it. We're just gonna upgrade it. In the bathrooms, we're gonna do new vanities. So those are kind of rough. In the master bathroom, which I think is the most important area to invest in outside of the kitchen, we're gonna do a new walk-in shower. The shower is currently dated. Trim work, we're gonna do 1x4 throughout the home. Paint-wise, we're going to do pure white on the trim, alabaster on the walls and ceilings. It's gonna look really good with that light wood floor that we're having ran through the home. Other than that, one thing that is a goal of mine, and I would assume Drake as well, is I like to be done with the actual remodel in 6 weeks.
Yep.
If we can make that closer to 5, that would be ideal. With some of the termite work that we have to do, I would assume that's gonna take about a week. So originally I was hoping 5, but with the termite work, we're looking at about 6 weeks and then a month on market. So hopefully about a 2.5 month process of remodel and flip, cash out, improve the community. And so that's what we're looking at. It's gonna be a really low level remodel, be able to give business to local small businesses here in Northwest Arkansas, improve those relationships that we've already built, and hopefully the buyer's excited about this one when they walk through it. So that's what we're doing.
And they've already done a decent amount of the work, which is great. We're the perfect buyer. I like the field test, just standing in a property. Does this feel like something I would buy for $145? Absolutely. Feels like something I'd buy for even more, but we'll post this after the closing, so we don't need to throw that in there first. So yeah, if you find this on YouTube, thank you for the deal. But yeah, they renovated this bathroom. It's maybe not exactly what we would have chosen, but it's good enough. And we're gonna try to match it in the primary bedroom bathroom. But yeah, I would move right into this thing. I mean, it looks and feels nice. It's very functional. So yeah. Thank you guys for joining another episode of Running Real Estate. I'm out.